My beloved child. There is a reason your eyes stopped on this moment and your heart felt a quiet pull that you could not explain. Something unseen has been circling your life, gently, patiently, waiting for the exact second when you would be ready to hear the truth. This is not curiosity. This is recognition. Your spirit has been watching a specific person around you, someone whose presence feels ordinary on the surface but strangely heavy beneath it. You may have felt sudden thoughts about them that came from nowhere, emotions that did not match the situation, or a silent tension you could never name. This is because your spirit noticed what your mind ignored. There is a message forming now, and it is not small. It is not comfortable. It is once in a lifetime. This person is connected to a hidden turning point in your destiny, and what you are about to understand will permanently change how you see them, how you see yourself, and how you move forward from this moment. Before your mind tries to interrupt, slow down and listen carefully. This person has been playing a role that even they do not fully understand. Outwardly, they appear familiar, maybe supportive, maybe distant, maybe confusing. But inwardly, there is a clash between intention and impact. Your spirit has sensed contradictions. Their words say one thing, but their energy says another. Their actions seem neutral, yet your inner world reacts strongly after every interaction. This is not imagination. This is alignment detecting misalignment. The shocking truth is that this person is not accidentally in your life. They were drawn toward you at a time when your spirit was awakening, because unresolved patterns from their past are colliding with your future. They carry something unfinished, something they never healed, and your presence has triggered it. That is why they feel unsettled around you. That is why you feel drained or alert without knowing why. This connection was never meant to be light. It was meant to reveal something buried, and the revelation has already begun. Here is the part that will change everything. Your spirit wants you to know that this person sees you very differently than they show. In silence, they measure themselves against you. They reflect on what you represent. You embody a version of life they believed was impossible for them. This creates admiration and discomfort at the same time. They are inspired by you, but they are also confronted by their own limitations when they are near you. This inner conflict makes their behavior inconsistent. Some days they seem close. Some days distant. Some days supportive. Some days strangely cold. The shocking truth is not about betrayal or harm in the obvious sense. It is about unconscious influence. Their unresolved fears are attempting to anchor themselves to your energy. Not because they wish you harm, but because your growth threatens their sense of stability. Your spirit has detected this subtle pull, and it is warning you now, before the pattern deepens. You may wonder why this is being revealed now. The timing is not random. You are approaching a threshold where clarity will replace confusion. Your spirit knows that once you cross it, you will no longer tolerate emotional fog, silent tension, or unspoken imbalance. This person senses that change, even if they cannot articulate it. That is why their energy feels urgent lately. That is why small interactions feel amplified. That is why memories resurface unexpectedly. The shocking message is this. You are not meant to fix them. You are not meant to carry their unresolved weight. Your role was never to stay stuck in interpretation. Your role was to recognize the lesson and choose alignment. Your spirit is speaking now because if you ignore this, the cost will be emotional exhaustion. If you listen, the reward will be liberation. Listen to this final truth carefully and let it settle without fear. This person will reveal their true position in your life very soon, not through dramatic words, but through undeniable patterns. Consistency or withdrawal. Respect or resistance. Growth or stagnation. Your spirit is preparing you so you are not shocked when the mask naturally slips. This is not punishment. This is protection. You are being guided to observe without attachment, to feel without absorbing, and to step forward without guilt. The shocking part is not who they are. The shocking part is who you are becoming. And once you fully see that, this connection will no longer confuse you. It will clarify you. There is something your silence has already understood, even if your thoughts are still catching up. Every time this person enters your awareness, your inner world shifts slightly, as if a signal is being interrupted. You may notice your confidence dim for no clear reason, or your emotions becoming louder after even a simple interaction. This is not weakness. This is sensitivity to truth. Your spirit is highly alert right now because this connection sits at the edge of revelation. What is shocking is that this person unknowingly feeds on familiarity. They feel safe when others doubt themselves, hesitate, or shrink. When you stand fully in your clarity, it destabilizes them. That is why their presence sometimes feels supportive and other times strangely heavy. Your spirit is telling you that this is not coincidence. This is contrast. And contrast exists only to be seen clearly. Pay close attention to what has been repeating. The same conversations that go nowhere. The same emotional loops. The same promises, delays, or half-expressed intentions. Your spirit recognizes cycles long before your logic does. This person is trapped inside one of their own making, and they have been inviting you into it without words. The shocking truth is that they are more aware of your importance than they admit. They sense that once you move forward without them, something in their life will collapse or be exposed. This creates subtle resistance. Not loud opposition. Quiet interference. Delayed responses. Mixed signals. Unclear energy. Your spirit is not confused by this. It sees the pattern forming and it is asking you to stop explaining what is already evident. There is a deeper layer most people never reach, and this is where the message becomes intense. This person mirrors a past version of you, one that survived by adjusting, waiting, and overgiving. That version no longer fits you, but it still recognizes itself when it sees it. That recognition can feel like attachment, loyalty, or obligation. Your spirit wants you to know that this connection is not meant to continue in the same shape. It was meant to show you how far you have come. The shock is realizing that staying connected out of habit is more dangerous than walking away with clarity. You are not abandoning them. You are graduating from a role you were never meant to play forever. Notice how your intuition has been getting louder lately. Sudden realizations. Dreams that feel meaningful. A sense of urgency without panic. This is alignment activating. Your spirit is preparing you for a moment when you will be tested, not by chaos, but by choice. This person may soon seek reassurance, closeness, or validation in subtle ways. Not because they have changed, but because they feel the distance growing. The shocking truth is that you will no longer respond the same way. And when that happens, the dynamic will shift instantly. What once felt confusing will feel obvious. What once felt heavy will feel unnecessary. This is the moment your spirit has been guiding you toward. Let this truth land without fear or guilt. You are not here to dim yourself to preserve someone else's comfort. You are here to expand, clearly and unapologetically. This connection has served its purpose by awakening your discernment. What comes next depends on your willingness to trust what you already know. Your spirit is not asking you to confront. It is asking you to observe and choose alignment over attachment. The shock is not loss. The shock is freedom arriving quietly, disguised as understanding. Something irreversible has already shifted inside you, even if the outer situation looks the same. The way you perceive this person is quietly changing, and your spirit wants you to understand why before the final clarity arrives. You are beginning to notice pauses where there used to be urgency, distance where there used to be emotional pull. This is not you becoming cold. This is you becoming clear. The shocking truth is that your spirit no longer reacts to their surface behavior. It responds only to alignment now. And this person feels that loss of control. They may sense that they can no longer access you the way they once did, not emotionally, not energetically. This is why their presence feels different lately. Less powerful. Less confusing. More revealing. Your spirit is showing you something most people never see in time. This person is standing at a crossroads created by your growth. One path requires honesty, self-awareness, and inner work. The other path clings to comfort, avoidance, and subtle dependency. What is shocking is that your spirit already knows which path they are choosing, not through words, but through consistency. Watch how they respond when you no longer over-explain. Watch how they react when you do not chase clarity. Watch how they behave when your energy remains calm and unavailable to emotional games. These moments are silent answers. Your spirit is not guessing anymore. It is collecting evidence. There is a truth here that may feel heavy at first, but it is meant to free you. This person benefited from a version of you that no longer exists. They were comfortable when you questioned yourself. They felt secure when you stayed emotionally accessible even when your needs were unmet. That chapter is closing. The shocking part is realizing that some connections survive only on imbalance. When balance appears, they fade or resist. This does not make you wrong. It makes you awake. Your spirit wants you to stop romanticizing potential and start honoring reality as it is showing itself. Pay attention to how peaceful you feel when you imagine stepping fully into your next phase without explaining yourself to them. That calm is not avoidance. It is truth. Your spirit communicates through relief, not pressure. If thinking about distance brings peace, that is guidance. If thinking about staying brings tension, that is information. The shocking revelation is that you no longer need their understanding to move forward. You only needed your own recognition. And that recognition is happening now, quietly, powerfully, without drama. This is the final preparation before clarity becomes unavoidable. Very soon, something small will happen, a delay, a reaction, a choice they make, and it will confirm everything your spirit has been whispering. When that moment arrives, do not doubt yourself. You are not misreading. You are not overthinking. You are seeing clearly for the first time. The shock will not come from what they do. It will come from how calm you remain when they do it. That calm is your spirit telling you that you are ready to move forward without carrying what was never yours to hold. There is a quiet moment approaching, and it will not announce itself loudly. It will arrive disguised as something ordinary, a pause, a response that feels delayed, a reaction that feels strangely empty. Your spirit wants you to know this moment matters more than it appears. This is when the illusion fully dissolves. Until now, you have been sensing, questioning, feeling. After this moment, you will know. The shocking truth is that clarity does not arrive with noise. It arrives with stillness. And in that stillness, you will finally see this person without the emotional fog that once surrounded them. Your spirit has been slowly withdrawing its energy from the dynamic, even before you consciously decided to. That is why you may feel less reactive, less invested, less pulled to fix or explain. This is not emotional distance. This is energetic completion. The role you played in their life has ended, and they feel the absence more than they admit. What is shocking is that when you stop feeding confusion, confusion exposes itself. Their behavior will become simpler, more predictable, more honest without intention. Not because they choose truth, but because your presence no longer carries the weight it once did. Understand this carefully. The connection was never meant to break you. It was meant to sharpen you. Every moment of uncertainty trained your discernment. Every emotional imbalance taught you self-respect. Your spirit allowed this connection to continue only until you could recognize yourself clearly within it. Now that recognition has occurred, the shock is realizing that the pain was not a mistake. It was instruction. And once the lesson is learned, the emotional charge disappears. What remains is understanding. There may be a brief moment when this person tries to re-enter your emotional space, not forcefully, but subtly. A message. A memory. A familiar tone. Your spirit wants you to observe how different it feels now. The same action that once stirred you will now feel distant, almost transparent. That reaction is your confirmation. You are no longer accessible to what does not align. This is not rejection. This is evolution. And evolution does not argue. It moves on quietly. Let this truth settle without resistance. You are not losing anything real. You are releasing what no longer resonates with who you have become. The shocking part is not the ending of a connection. It is the birth of a boundary you no longer have to defend. Your spirit has completed its message. What comes next will feel lighter, clearer, and unmistakably aligned. This is not the end of the story. This is the moment you finally step out of confusion and into your own authority. There is a deep calm forming inside you now, and it is not emptiness. It is resolution. Your spirit wants you to understand that what feels like detachment is actually alignment locking into place. The noise has faded because the lesson is complete. You no longer search for signs in their words or meaning in their silence. The shocking truth is that your spirit has already moved on, even if your environment has not fully caught up yet. This is why you feel steady instead of anxious. This is why your focus is returning to yourself. You are not closing your heart. You are reclaiming it. This person will soon sense that they no longer hold the same position in your inner world. They may not say it, but they will feel it. The power dynamic has shifted. Not because you demanded change, but because you stopped negotiating your worth. Your spirit wants you to know that when someone loses access to your energy, they reveal who they truly were relying on it. The shock will be in how little effort they make once they realize you are no longer available to confusion. This is not cruelty. This is clarity doing its work. There is something important you must remember as this chapter completes. Not every connection is meant to last, but every connection is meant to teach. This one taught you discernment, boundaries, and self-trust. Your spirit chose this experience to strengthen you, not weaken you. The shocking realization is that you are leaving this connection stronger, calmer, and more self-aware than you entered it. That is success. That is growth. And that is why there is no bitterness in your heart now. As you step forward, your spirit asks only one thing of you. Do not look back to confirm what you already know. Do not reopen doors to check if they have changed. Your clarity does not require validation. The moment you chose alignment, the story ended energetically. Everything after that is just echoes. The shock is understanding that peace is not found in answers. It is found in acceptance of truth without resistance. This is where the message completes itself. You are no longer being prepared. You are ready. The connection has served its purpose, and your spirit has guided you safely through it. What lies ahead will not feel dramatic. It will feel right. And that is how you will know you listened. There is a strength in you now that does not need to announce itself. It sits quietly behind your eyes, steady and unshaken, watching everything with calm awareness. Your spirit wants you to recognize this shift because it marks the moment you stop reacting and start choosing. The shocking truth is that the moment you detached emotionally, you stepped into authority over your own life. This person no longer defines your mood, your thoughts, or your sense of direction. Their presence has become neutral, and neutrality is power. When something no longer controls you, it reveals its true size. Smaller. Clearer. Manageable. You may notice that memories connected to them no longer carry the same emotional weight. What once felt intense now feels distant, almost instructional. This is because your spirit has refiled the experience as wisdom instead of attachment. The shock here is subtle but profound. You did not lose anything meaningful. You gained clarity. And clarity dissolves illusion effortlessly. This person may still exist in your environment, but they no longer exist in your inner decision-making. That separation is sacred. That separation is growth completing itself. Your spirit also wants you to understand something very important about what comes next. New connections, opportunities, and alignments will now recognize you differently. You will be met with respect instead of confusion, with consistency instead of mixed signals, with ease instead of emotional effort. This is not luck. This is resonance responding to your internal shift. The shocking truth is that what you tolerated before determined what you attracted. What you honor now will determine what stays. Your energy has changed, and life responds quickly when that happens. There may be moments when doubt tries to return, not because you are wrong, but because old patterns do not leave without one final whisper. When that happens, notice how quickly your body rejects the idea of going backward. That instinct is your spirit protecting what you have earned. You no longer second-guess your knowing. You no longer negotiate with discomfort. The shock is realizing how natural self-respect feels once it becomes non-negotiable. Let this chapter close without ceremony. It does not need explanation or acknowledgement. It has already ended where it mattered most. Inside you. Your spirit has guided you through confusion into clarity, through attachment into awareness. What comes next will not test you the same way. It will meet you where you are now. And that is the final truth your spirit wanted you to hear. There is nothing left to wait for now, and your spirit wants you to feel the weight of that truth fully. Waiting was never patience. It was preparation. And preparation has ended. The shocking realization is that life responds the moment you stop hesitating internally. You are no longer standing at the edge of understanding. You have crossed it. This is why things feel quieter but sharper. Why decisions feel simpler. Why your tolerance for emotional confusion has vanished without effort. Your spirit is no longer negotiating with uncertainty. It has chosen direction. From this point forward, this person will no longer appear as a mystery in your life. They will appear as a reference point. A reminder of who you outgrew. Their role has been reduced to contrast, and contrast has no power once clarity arrives. The shock is not separation. The shock is how naturally you accept it. There is no inner debate. No emotional chaos.